Hi. Well, if you're still with me, even after reading the description and or title of this video, hey, you're part of that small sliver of the population like myself that are actually morbidly interested in all things taboo. So welcome, I'm glad you found my vlog. Now I think it's important that before we go any further that we define what a fetish actually is. A fetish, or what is considered a fetish, is when you have an object or body part that is either real or fantasized and are psychologically necessary for someone to reach sexual gratification. It's really simple. That is what a fetish actually is, contrary to popular belief. So, I want to talk a little bit more about the stigma that surrounds those who are attracted to overweight women. I'm actually not going to touch much on what a fat fetish actually is in this video. That's actually going to be in another video. I will mention a few things that are actual fetishes. In comparison though, for one, we're going to talk about the actual fetishes. And so actual fetishes are things like the feeder gainer, and there is actually something where people like to be sat on, wrestled, squashed, jumped on, stood on, kicked by. Yeah, there's a whole list of things people get. And sometimes those aren't actually geared towards satisfaction sexually. Sometimes that is just, they like to prove how strong they are. But we'll get more into that in my next video. First, I really do want to talk about the fact that men and women alike are having to identify as either fat admirers or chubby chasers, or the thousands of different names that they have these days for these things. So I really think that it's important that everyone understand that just because you are attracted to an overweight woman does not make you someone who has a fat fetish. In fact, many psychological magazines and or publications now state that a lot of things that are considered as fetishes are actually part of the natural process of being attracted. So that would be one of them. It's just like having any other preference. You look at things such as I'm attracted to taller guys than myself. And some people may be more attracted to blonde hair instead of people like me who have brown hair. There's some people who prefer brown eyes as opposed to hazel or blue or green eyes. So it's along the same lines. Now, why are these people having to identify as fat admirers or whatever the case may be? And that is mostly because of the stigma that society puts on these men and women. The crazy thing about it is that they think that these people are either desperate or pathetic or really just don't want to try for anything better and whatnot. The reality is it's just a preference. And you know what? Just because you don't see someone like myself who's a plus size person as your type of beautiful doesn't make me any less beautiful. So to the credit of all these men and women out there, I'm so sorry that you're stigmatized so much. And I did have a conversation with another vlogger about him embracing the word fetish to make it stop being a bad word. And I was so against it at first. I was really kind of blown away that he would even consider it. 'Cause to me, that I'm like, that's giving up. Why would you ever give in to these people? But he's right, because at this point, it's kind of like when we start calling ourselves fat or we make fun of ourselves. We're trying to take the sting out of it so that we get to it before the others do. And I completely understand that. Just like their truth, quote, this is a quote that he used against me, that actually I was like, okay, you're right, I gotta let this go. Their truth is their truth. Just like our truth is a lie to them, and vice versa. And fine. But ultimately, I refuse to be considered a fetish. I'm not a fetish. I'm a human being. I'm a woman. Thank you very much. I am not an inanimate object. My husband is not attracted to me just because I'm fat or because of whatever. He finds me attractive because he finds me attractive. Also, he's dated plenty of different body types before me, so it kind of takes the wind out of their sails. Same thing for a lot of other vloggers and bloggers that I subscribe to, because they also find other women attractive, not just plus size, but the preference, the main people that they want to have relationships with and or attracted to are plus size women, not a fetish. So in the next video, we're going to look a little bit deeper into what actually a fetish is, and I hope that you guys can subscribe and let me know if you have any comments. Leave them in the boxes below, and or email me. That's all going to be on my main page. So till next time, guys.